Now, Roland, one of the other things that your friends told me is that you have an amazing contact book, which we'll go on to in a bit. But I'm told that you were very big pals with Shane Warne.
Uh, well, as you asked me about Shane, what a nice guy, and obviously incredibly sad to lose him at such a young age. Someone who really loved life. We kind of kindred spirits in a way because we both enjoyed ourselves and didn't take life too seriously. We wouldn't say great pals, but he was a good man, and we spent time together quite a lot in Vegas and Australia, and shared interests.
Okay, now, I'm told that you're one of these guys that likes to get to know shrewd people and follow them in. Now, how does that work? Is that true even?
I think that because I'm an all-rounder, because I'm I guess an unusual mix of, I kind of understand, like, I understand gambling, I understand odds and edge, but I also happy to go against it, don't care like firing off in a casino, don't care about punting on sports with the worst of it. Like, there's a mix there. So sharp people will know, most sharp people aren't like me, they don't want to be like giving edge away in any way. My philosophy has always been like, you give some, get some, and try and make it work, try and satisfy my sating for action, and you know, if you can get some good stuff as well as bad, like that, it's all give and take. So people know that I'm someone who's going to have put a lot of, you know, bad action in places. You know, I'll have punted off on sports. And these books with me, what they could never really understand was my account will be a complete mix. So I might get some sharp stuff just because I can, because I can't really say no. Like, I'm flying off casino, I bet like all these ridiculous sports bets, you know, stupid accas, all of this stuff, and then they're not going to, they can't say no to like 10K or whatever on an early price at, you know, Wolverhampton on some shit race, because I'll just tell them no more action, and they want the action because overall they're going to win. But the issue for them is, and then this is what I kind of quite like causing the chaos, you've got a guy in the horse racing department. Maybe he, you know, they see the whole account, yeah, but the horse racing guy is worried about his bonus. Maybe he doesn't want to lay a massive bet which is going to lose, you know, which is going to be a big hole in the book, and it's going to shorten. But, you know, someone's looking down, you know, the head of the sports is, or this guy's done X, Y, and Z, or, you know, the head of the overall UK is saying, well, this is a big punter of ours. Look what he's turning over. Look at all the bad sports bet he's got. You've got to lay it. So I can only imagine all the arguments that they would have there. But then, you know, the sharp people will find me because they know that sharp bet I obviously could get on, because, you know, I have accounts that have special privileges.
Right. So and also you're quite good at judging the good information from the bad.
I mean, the thing is, when you're betting a bigger stakes, you don't have to be that good, because the good people are obvious. You know, if you're a 100 quid punter, then you know, you might encounter people who don't have the names. But for me, I like, you know, and I'm also, yeah, I'm quite able to judge that stuff. Like, and people will, yeah, so people will seek me out in that respect.
Now, these sort of super smart people tend to be quite solitary, or we think they are, sort of sitting in a, you know, doing their own thing. So how do you get to meet like-minded people that may be by nature a little bit solitary?
That's a good question. I guess, like, people will find, if people are looking to ways to get something on and they're sharp and solitary, they'll find me. You know, it's not difficult to find me. And then if people just want to gamble with me, they'll find me. If people, you know, for whatever reason, it's not such a big, you know, it's not such a big thing. But I imagine it would have been a nightmare for like books back in the day, because, you know, as I said, like one guy looking after his bonus on this side, and then like the casinos guys, or even like the football guy saying, you've got to lay this guy, he's done so much, and then the racing guy or whatever is saying, like, for fuck's sake, like, they're just going to clean us out on this one. But like, yeah. So in answer to your question directly, how do people seek each other out? Well, there isn't like it's not like a dating app for people who like gambling big, but, you know, there's a limited amount, and, you know, whether it's through poker or sports, like you'll meet people who are who are like-minded.
What is the ratio of bets following someone else in your own? What would you decide yourself is a good bet rather than follow anybody else?
So much of my action is just like flipping coins, neutral EV stuff, because I like the fun of it. Like with different friends, we'll like take certain minutes of a goal of a match and then just like
when you say
X amount of
coins,
goals.
you don't
like,
actually mean
no, actually flipping coin. I mean
no.
like neutral EV stuff where you'll have, you know, there's one guy who we do it every 4 years on the Olympics. We have lists of, you know, we have 3 people each in each heat of the 100 meters or 5,000 meters or discus, or betting on the time. So you either take one side or the other, or at cricket, you'll take like batsman A against B, but just that's part of the action. That's a lot of my action, as in like neutral EV will be like the highest proportion. And then I'll punt off myself as well. Especially like if I'm winning, and then there'll be the odd sharp bit, but like it's harder and harder these days. You have to kind of, it's not like you get one thing that's wrong by a load. You either have to like completely commit to it, which is lesser and lesser, or not bother. It's not like you get, oh, one thing, well, this guy's going to be, you know, sport's quite accurately priced, I think.
Okay.
So but it's still an interesting mix. I don't think most people's gambling will look like my gambling, for better or for worse.
Because what do you consider to be the most important mental characteristics for successful gambling?
Well, I don't think I would be anywhere near that profile of what the mental characteristics are. I think that the people who are not like me have all the successful characteristics. They are the successful people, but I'm a little bit different, and I just work in a little bit of a different way in terms of just my motivation for gambling is different to the very successful people. The method is what I get enjoyment out of. But I guess all the things that I'm not, you know, discipline, organisation, like Ben Keefe will say that I'm ruthless, but like actually 2 things is I'm, as far as ruthlessness is, I haven't in the past at least had a good work ethic. Like I'm not looking for every penny, and the reason why I work well is because people know that, you know, like you say about people coming to me, people know that with me, I'm not going to be greedy. I don't, you know, care super much about getting every penny out of someone. I realise that if you're working with someone, so say like I've done X amount in on an account and I want someone to give me sharp stuff, I'm not going to be greedy about percentages. They know that I'm relaxed about those sort of things, and I'm exactly not ruthless.
Right, you said your motivation was different. What is your motivation?
I guess my motivation is more for action, and more for having fun and an enjoyment of it, and like the banter of it. You know, with poker, like even in spots where I'm going to be a winner in the game, unless it's fun, I can't be bothered. Like I can't be bothered to play late nights or long stuff like that. I don't have things. Now, if there's a good project or something interesting that I think is going to be excellent, and people come to me and say, do you want to work on that? Do you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, of course, and I can really commit to that and go to it. But just, I'm not someone who's going to be motivated to go and grind out the next pound or whatever because I need to. And I know super wealthy people who can't leave a pound on the table. They can't, you know, they're taking like £5-10 bonuses. Or whatever, like they're doing ridiculous things that I wouldn't, you know, waste my time doing. But that's their personality, and that's what's made them successful. For me, it's a totally different. It's a totally different thing.
Would it be fair to say that your love of sort of gambling, especially casino games, has it gone into almost the problem gambling area?
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't say almost. Like I'm not the sort of gambler who will. At least I don't think, like, I'm not going to be like destitute losing every penny, but I will always want a constant action, and have definitely over gambled at times in casinos, sports books and whatever. And you know, there's a litany of books where like I've just done it in, and you know, there's also no reason for me to say that. Like I'm not getting any advantage from saying that. Like it's. You know, I'll be welcomed in so many different casinos around the world. That's where, like, if people say he's always away on holiday, like, that's because, like, the casinos will welcome me, you know, and they'll normally take care of that sort of thing. But, you know, there's in many ways, I would like to be that guy who was always winning, always like super hungry, but it's not. And that's not my makeup. It's not my personality, and I've made it kind of work for me. You know, a bit of everything, and give and take is important.
So is that a square being a shrewd punter with playing these games that you probably can't possibly win at?
Well, I'm not a shrewd. Well, I understand like how bets work and stuff like that. I can't price or model anything myself. I understand who is going to be shrewd, but it's not like my raison d'etre to win following in someone shrewd. Like, it doesn't really get the juices flowing. I'd much rather like kind of have a punt myself and have enjoyment out of that. And everyone's different, but what I have mastered, not mastered because I haven't mastered anything, but what I have done well at is being able to give and take. You know, I know that like I'm going to give a lot of action, and then I'm going to get some action. That works in poker, it works in everything, and that kind of relaxed attitude to money also is why you know, people who have a lot of money, you know, I can connect with them sometimes if we, you know, people say like, oh, you've got a lot of friends who are wealthy, but that's because actually it's not a big deal to me. Like, I don't care. Like, if someone's a gambler, that's more, not more important, but it's more likely for me to be around them. I know a lot of like very successful, very wealthy people who aren't gamblers. They're not interested in that side of things. They're very straight down the middle, and that's cool. That's up to them. But they're not going to be people who I warm to in the same way. You know. Okay.
Now, 5 years ago, you were the most feared NFL punter alive, I'm told.
Actually, I remember. Yeah, I mean, I won't say who. There were very few people who were beating us, but I can tell you one who you would know, who actually did. But yeah, I kind of got in contact with someone who said they were very good at NFL, had an unbelievable run for 2 years. I was taking like 187 both sides for like on early money, hoping to beat the lines, and there was such a weight of money that we often did, but somehow we managed to like win every week for 2 years. And then the third year, fourth year, whatever, it just went back to like, we're not going to win here. But yeah, for a while, I thought I had the golden goose, and I'm sure I would have been feared because I was just literally like, some weeks we were going through the card. It was like the most insane run of variance, but variance is insane is insane at gambling, and it takes a while to see, you know, where an edge is. Maybe we did have something that was doing better there. I don't really know. I was kind of removed from. I was just kind of getting the bets. But you know, obviously, my own opinion on NFL. I don't know half the players, but whatever. But it was fun.
when it went wrong, did it go the opposite way? Did it just level out and you thought the edge is gone now?
I mean, we had like, I think like season 3 and 4 we just lost. Like, we didn't get tortured or anything. I think one year we did quite badly. But like, yeah, just like kind of just it leveled out. You just also know, you have like an instinct of what is getting unlucky and what is just like, what are we doing? Like, you know, in these games, whatever you can watch and see, or not so much on like one game, but like if you watch over a season, you can kind of figure out what people are doing. And over 2 seasons, I just realised that I've just been incredibly lucky, and like the prices I was taking were complete filth. But somehow, you know, when you're winning, it doesn't matter.